One Question is designed to give subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences.
Greetings, this is Ty Brown, and welcome to One Question, where we highlight executive leaders in college athletics. Our guest today is Craig Ricks. Craig is the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Paciolan. Greetings, Craig. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Craig, you've been with the company for 16 years in marketing the whole time?
That's right.
So you've seen a lot in terms of college athletics, in terms of ticketing, in terms of the fan experience throughout those years. The reason why I have you on is because the presence of Paciolan in college athletics is huge, right? A Learfield company. What I hear athletic directors complain about, and this is not just college, but in the pros, everywhere, they talk about the attendance to games, to live events, because people will stay home and they'll watch it on their phones or at home where they have Wi-Fi, where they don't have to pay for the beer. You hear all the things. But I wonder what Paciolan is doing about that issue in college athletics.
Yeah, so we've got good insight into college, as you mentioned, because we ticket and partner with over 135 institutions. We see a lot of trends and best practices and opportunities. Me, as in a marketing role, one of the things that we like to do is really use data and technology to help to find new fans, connect with existing fans, and get them to come to the game. So a couple things we're doing there. Two technologies that we're leveraging. One is marketing automation in connection with CRM. With that, it's all around personalizing the communication, right? So what is the exact message that person's going to resonate with to get them to come to the game? A couple examples there for, season tickets. What we'll do there is do a personalized campaign. We'll do a drip campaign, which means we'll send you a customized communication, an email that's customized for you. If you open and you don't take action, we'll send you another one in 7 days that said, hey, we know you opened the email. Did you know that our lineup this year is incredible? The home schedule is amazing. You open, you still don't take action, we'll say, hey, do you know we got this 5-star recruit for quarterback? It's going to be an amazing season. We need you. You're the home field advantage. So it's all around customizing and personalizing the experience and getting them to come to the game. The other thing that we do on the digital marketing side is we partner with technology companies like Google, and Google knows people. Google knows your user activities, right? So you probably have a Gmail account, you probably use Google Chrome, you probably use YouTube, you probably use Google Maps. Google knows if you're in the stadium last weekend. Google knows if you're on ESPN.com. Google knows if you're a family. Google knows if you have affinity for Michigan State University, which I do. So with all those things, all those signals, we're able to curate custom digital marketing campaigns to connect with those people that have affinity for the university or actively searching for tickets and deliver the right message to that fan, get them to come to the game. It's all around curating the customer experience and the customer journey. We can't just rely on traditional means anymore of digital or billboards or print. It's kind of a shotgun blast. You really need to use this rifle approach and be very customized and curated and deliver those messages that's going to resonate to get them to come. I think a few other things that really resonate is you need to share your story, right? So, for example, one thing that Stanford did a really good job of, they do this through Instagram stories. They capture the essence of game day. So they do Instagram stories of people out there tailgating and they're barbecuing and they're having a drink with their friends. They're playing cornhole. The next one is the team is coming through the campus. You give them a high five. You see the players. The next one is highlights. So you capture that experience. And it's through video, which is really compelling. So I think all those things really add up to help to get people to come into the game, curate the message that's going to resonate with the audience, and make sure they're not going to miss that experience.
In terms of personalizing the message, right? You work with the colleges. We got this new recruit coming in. Did you know this is happening this week? How big is that process? Do the universities decide, okay, here's the message we want to send to them, here's what we think is important, they send it to you, you guys help curate the message, or do you say, here are the trends and what we found that's worked, who the quarterback is, who's coming back from whatever injury, or what's happening today in the game? Like, how you decide what the message is?
So we really kind of do two paths. One, we like to do evergreen communications, right? So there's always a message out there because there's always an appetite to consume for college athletics. Then the other one is more custom curated, right? So digital can be real time. So if you want to capture, some behind the scenes footage of practice, or the coach coaching up, or chalk talk, or this new recruit catching a ball or making a three-pointer. It's all those organic content moments, those micro moments you can take advantage of and pump that out there on the digital marketing. It gets exciting. And it gets to you to tell the story, and it gets like behind the scenes. And all those things help you to articulate the value and the vision of your organization. It gets people excited about it. So you hit them up with those messages, and then you hit them up with a ticket opportunity. And it's all around, again, the customer journey. So you want to tell your story at the top. You want to continually message those people, and then you get them to buy a ticket. And so all those things, what we typically do is we partner with the institutions in college athletics, right? So we say, how do we want to continue to tell your narrative and tell your story this week? How can we capitalize on last week's big win? And how can we take in almost real time some of that organic content via video or via other, pictures or what have you, and really capitalize on that to optimize campaigns to get the most people to come back to the game?
I wonder how you delineate between affirming fans and transitioning those affirmed fans to people who will buy a ticket and be the same person who bought the ticket to attend the game, right? It seems like I can be in love and like pictures and love that I'm getting this stuff, and I'm a 1,000% Michigan State fan. But I may not be the click to buy the ticket fan, right? Because I'm getting all this stuff and I see the experience, but you want to make sure the content is good. That ties in your background in marketing, ties in what you guys do. Tell me about that delineation, right?
So there's really kind of two swim lanes, right? There's like the people you know in your database, that you know are ticket buyers. And with that, we like to use automation and custom curated messages, push notifications, mobile. Everything's mobile these days, right? So that to really get them to come back. So you want to take a single ticket buyer and put them on the escalator to become a mini plan buyer. Then put them on the escalator to become a season ticket holder and a donor and a premium seat level member. So that's if known people in your database. You want to curate them and grow lifetime value. Now the other swim lane is people you don't know. So there is a sea of people out there that are fans of your respective institution that you don't know who they are. And that's where we rely on people like Google or Facebook, because we can follow those digital footprints. Every time you, as a consumer, are looking at content, you're looking on your mobile device, you're looking at ESPN.com, you're leaving these digital footprints, and good marketing can follow those digital footprints through Google, through Facebook, and create a call to action and elicit an opportunity to buy a ticket. So those are those two things. The good news is the anonymous person that you don't know yet, you bring them into the funnel, you get them to buy, then they're known to you and you can curate some upsell opportunities for the future. So it's really both those things running in parallel that makes for a good marketing mix.
Say I come to, okay, you got me to buy. I come to a game. Does the experience, is that out of you guys' hands? Or do you work with the universities?
That's a good question. That's more on the university side, quite honestly. I mean, you can use technology to create a good experience in the venue, and then there's other things that the university controls. A good example of the university controlling the experience is Bevo Boulevard, right? So at Texas, they blew up donor level pricing, which is amazing that they did that, because they said, we're going to have this amazing experience, and it's working. And the experience there is unparalleled. It's not something you can get on watching your 50-inch screen TV at home. The other thing that we can do, though, with technology is enhance the experience for when you're there. And a couple of things you can do there. Let's say you are a season ticket holder and you scan in and we send you a push notification or an email saying thank you for coming. You can get 10% off merchandise or what have you. The other thing you can do is we can send a notification or alert to let's say you're a donor or a season ticket member. We can send an alert to a donor officer or somebody else on staff to come over and greet you and say thanks for coming. By the way, did you know that you need to renew your season tickets, and give them a hat or something like that? So it's layering in technology and good strategy and practical application that can enhance the game experience with technology. Then some of the stuff is on the school side to really make that experience unparalleled. There's always going to be a lot of competition, and it's easy to watch a game on your TV and get beer for next to nothing, right? But I think that social engagement and that connection with the audience and those micro moments that you get when you're at the game, they're unparalleled. So it's really exciting. There's different ways of connecting with different audiences. I would say, the younger millennial or Gen Y audience right now has a different motivation to go to the games than somebody like that you and I do, or even somebody that's a more venerable season ticket holder, right? So it's also capturing that message and delivering that message to that audience that's going to resonate to get them to come back.
It's interesting to me. You 16 years, Paciolan, you said they've been around since 1980?
1980, yep.
That's a while. USC first school.
Number one in the database, that's right.
I wonder over time when you talk about marketing and you talk about a company that gathers information and a company that tries to be on the forefront of digital trends, when did you see this? Like, when did you notice? And obviously the schools notices because game day revenues, you got to have that. But when did, from a ticketing standpoint, your perspective, when did you guys notice that this is probably going to grow over the next 4 to 5 to 10 years? This whole attendance thing is going to be an issue. So how did you guys start preparing for that to what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think with technology and with college athletics, it's ever evolving. It's a fast-moving target, so you always got to be looking at what are the next trends of the future and how do you address them. There's never going to be a silver bullet for any of the trends, attendance or revenue pressure or a myriad of things, right? But you're always looking to what's next and how can we help to address that? How can we have tools in the toolbox to help our 135 schools address those issues? So, I think it's going to be constantly a moving target. And even the game production and the game day experience is always going to change, right? So for younger audience members, maybe we need to do something like a post-event concert or things like that. For season ticket members, they want to come and tailgate. For, families, they want to bring their families and friends. So I've got 2 daughters, they're 12 and 9. I took them to 3 Michigan State games last year, right? And they loved it. And they like to go because they want to eat ice cream and hot dogs and drink Cokes. And I want to go because I like the game. But I'm starting to instill that passion in them as well, which is exciting. And it's almost a legacy. I want to leave that legacy of passion for college athletics to my kids. So that's what motivates me as a dad. So there's different motivations that help to address these factors that I think, as a technology company and as a partner to college, we're always looking to see what kind of tools we can avail to our partners and our clients to help them to address, attendance or whatever issues there are.
Yeah, I just wonder, when you look at trends, right, that you obviously want to work, even coaches they look at trends, look at tendencies. When the industry saw the trend that this social media, this Wi-Fi, this streaming thing may affect us in the next few years. Like, was everybody taken back and all of a sudden let's go into motion and let's figure out how we're going to start getting calls about this here shortly because we know how important it is. Like, how big was that when you started seeing it 4 or 5, 10 years ago? Since you've been in the industry for 16, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I think, we're always trying to prepare for the future. So I think what's really important is making that in-venue experience different than the at-home experience. That's and you can do things, going forward, I see things like augmented reality will be a game changer too, right? Can you do real-time stats? The Clippers do this, I think, with Fox Sports. So on your mobile app, you can see real-time stats, right, of the players as they're going. So can you do that in-game experience that's different than if you're not, through geofencing or what have you, create that in-game experience that's different than if you're not there, right? I think that's going to be important. I think there's a myriad of technologies that can help to address that. And everyone's, trying to figure out what's the best way to attack that, right? And attendance is interesting. What's interesting is we don't necessarily see a drop in ticket sales. People buy the tickets. It's just if it's a non-conference game or, you're used to these powerhouse, opponents, and it's not a powerhouse opponent, that can be an impact. I think weather makes an impact too. Students want to have the social experience. I think another trend that campuses and universities are seeing as well is creating more of these social environments, right? So that generation is less interested in having a reserved seat. They want to just have this social environment where they can go hang out with their friends. It used to be the group sales where you sit with your friends. Now it's more of this open area, GA standing or seating, right? Where you can just have the social experience because they want the experience. So I think it's adapting and moving to that as well. It's a combination of good technology, good strategy, doing things differently, and then staying ahead of the curve.
Right. This whole industry is interesting to me. You saw a few years ago people you want to buy a ticket to the big game. Well, that comes with a couple tickets to the not-so-big game, right? You saw that. And then now, as you're talking, you talk about the game day experience. You talk about technology. You talk about how people getting to where people are. It's interesting. I know it's an issue, and it's big. And I remember when I was at the Coaches Association, and they voted to have the 12th game. And you start talking about these schools with these big stadiums, like, we got to do a 12th game because that's that kind of thing. But now you get the Nick Sabans of the world talking about, okay, you guys leaving before the game is over or not showing up to the game, you're going to lose your privileges and all this kind. It's interesting, and you're right in the mix of it. I'm sure you're probably excited to be on the forefront of a company that is trying to solve the challenge in college athletics, which obviously you are very excited to be working in that industry.
It's exciting. It's awesome. I'm a passionate fan of college athletics. I love college basketball. I love college football. I grew up on it, so I just love it. I love being in marketing and technology and applying that that knowledge and into college athletics. And we have a company that's obviously focused on college as well, and part of Learfield. So we're part of a bigger entity that's also super focused on college. So it's great, and then there's a lot of tools in the toolbox, and I think we'll all, get after it together, and there's going to be some solutions. And again, it's an ever-changing target. You're not going to just find the silver bullet answer and have it be done. It's going to be, how do we continue to tackle at it and chip away at it and find a solution there. But it's awesome. It's exciting.
Yeah, well, Craig, this has been a great conversation for me. It's kind of educational. It's always good to talk to a fellow Spartan.
Likewise. Go green.
Yes, sir. Go white. That was Craig Ricks. He is the Senior Vice President for Marketing at Paciolan. And, of course, this is Ty Brown with one question. And keep in mind, the role of a leader is to create and maintain an environment that people want to be a part of. And as always, be better tomorrow than you are today. This episode of One Question is produced by Spades Media Group, solving problems using creative leadership.